Hi there, wig lovers! Long time no see. This is Heather from CysterWigs.com, and today I'm bringing you a hotly anticipated review, killing two birds with one stone. Love it. This is the Alessandra wig by Jon Renau in the color FS4/33/30A, also known as Midnight Cocoa. It is extremely windy out here, and Alessandra is an extremely lightweight, baby fine denier sort of wig, so you'll see it sort of moving around naturally in the breeze quite a bit in this review. So hopefully you'll view that as a plus and not a minus to the quality of this particular review. So anyhow, let me break down the color code for you a little bit. The FS at the beginning of this color code should tell you something, and that is that this is a syrup shade. Yes, all of the chocolate collection colors from Jon Renau that they just released in spring of 2016 are actually syrup shades. So a third of the color is actually going to be composed of highlighting, and that highlighting isn't just going to be at the top of the wig. No, it's going to go all throughout the cap. So you're going to get it at the bottom, at the nape, all over the place. And I'll show you more of that when I take the wig off and invert the cap. So the 4 is the base shade in this color combination, and hopefully the sun will come out. Let me zoom in. So you can see this dark shade kind of hidden throughout in here, this kind of dark brown. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see because this is a very heavily highlighted color. All of the chocolate shades are, but this number 4 is a dark brown, and it's a very, very lovely dark brown. And then on top of that, you've got a 33, which is a natural dark auburn brown. So in the Jon Renau line, it is not a super duper red color. It is actually more of like a brown with a little bit of auburn thrown in for flavor. And then on top of that, you've got the 30A, which is actually the base shade on Shaded Peach, if you're familiar with that color. So you'll see that as a highlighted shade throughout. Okay, so I'm trying this again because I have been trying to wait for the weather to clear up enough so I can show you what this color looks like on this Alessandra wig, and I can't because it just, the wind and the rain and the it's like So I am going to just sort of show you what it looks like indoors, so that hopefully you can at least see what it looks like, because this wig is really pretty, and I would hate for you to get the impression that just because it was really windy and crappy outside when I was trying to show you what this looked like, that this was not a beautiful wig, because it is a beautiful wig. I mean, this is the same wig. I just combed it after being, you know, out in the wind all day long. And so hopefully this will give you a fair impression of how this particular Alessandra actually looks. So I would like to say that I love this Alessandra wig. I previously filmed a review last year of this particular wig, and maybe I'll show that. This is the Alessandra wig in the color 10RH16, also known as Almondine. Whenever I start reviewing more wigs, I always try to pick colors that I haven't reviewed in the past. Anything that I know I'm gonna resell, I basically get in a color that I not only think will look really beautiful in a style, but also in the color that I think will really help fill a void on the internet where there isn't a review existing. So it kind of helps people, you know, fill in any, you know, knowledge gaps so they can kind of see what these colors look like in real life, because, you know, shopping for colors can be really, really difficult online. And this is a really, really great case in point, because Almondine's color swatch makes this color look a little bit warmer than it actually is in real life. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip my head into the sunlight with you. So let's go. Let's take a little walk. Taking a walk. I'm out in the country. There are trains and planes and all kinds of fun things. So sorry about the ambient noise. So as you can see here, this color has a lot going on, but it's quite dark at the bottom and kind of ashy. Though if you look at it really closely, it does have some warmth to it. You know, it's got a little bit of gold in there too to keep it from looking too ashy. Jon Renau's really good with their colors. They don't want them to look too mature most of the time. So unless it's specifically meant to be a gray, most of their colors have a little bit of gold in them. So yeah, this color's got a lot going on. As you can see, it's got these kind of light ashy blonde highlights up here at the top. And it kind of goes into sort of like this light ash brown at the bottom that has kind of like a, almost like a honey blonde mixed in. Really, really, really pretty color. Very pretty. Very dynamic too. Jon Renau's colors are very, very dynamic. Very pretty. Lots of highlights too. Like that a lot. Going back over here together. I couldn't pass up the opportunity to show it to you once again in one of these fabulous chocolate collection colors. And I think that the layering really benefits from all of the highlights. On top of this, something a lot of you may have known already, and I know a lot of you are very wig savvy, is that this is a layered version of the Zara wig. Zara is actually the #1 best-selling smart lace wig from the Jon Renau brand. So Alessandra is a take on that has more layers incorporated around the front and more layering at the back. So what this does is it not only helps frame the face a little bit better, which is awesome and flattering and gives the wig a little bit more texture, but it also helps thin it out a little bit, which is going to be awesome for a lot of you, because the thing with Zara is that she's got layering right here in the front, like two-tiered almost, like layering boom, and then the rest of her is basically the same length. And because of that, she's really thick. She's a very dense wig all throughout. So if you've ever bought a Zara and thought, this wig is gorgeous, but man, I need to thin this out, you may want to try this one, the Alessandra, instead, because she was made basically because Jon Renau pays very close attention to consumer requests and your feedback, and they said, hey, why don't we just go ahead and make a wig that's already like that? And voila, that's what you have. The Zara, even though it's a gorgeous wig, can be very overwhelming. It just is a lot of hair. It's very, very, very long. It's like mermaid hair. It's just really, really long on short people. And so on someone like me, who's like almost 5'9", you know, it's a really nice length, but on somebody who's, you know, 5'2", it's going to be clear down to your, you know, your booty. So this is basically a modified version of that that's had lots of layering, lots of modification, but is essentially, you know, in spirit the same cut. Long, luscious, deliciously straight, and very beautiful, and in almost the exact same color offerings, which is really, really nice too. Let me show you the lace front on this one. Let's see if it'll focus. Now, you can really see the knotting, and I'm actually going to push this up on my forehead a little bit more than I would actually wear it in real life, so you can kind of see the knotting a little bit better. You can never hide crappy knotting in a dark color. It's impossible, because if the knots are really, really big and pluggy looking, they're always going to show on a dark colored knot. But luckily here, you can really see that not only does this hairline have a natural looking contour to it with almost like a faux soft widow's peak, but it also has really teeny, teeny, tiny knots all throughout. Now I'm going to kind of part it awkwardly for a second and pull this straight up, because I want to show you something that's a little bit different about Jon Renau's lace fronts compared to everybody else's. Most wig manufacturers have really dense lace fronts that start off dense and then they continue dense all the way into the mono top. Jon Renau's smart lace is substantially different. It starts off a little bit finer with a well-defined front hairline, but it's not densely threaded at the front. It gets denser as it goes back towards the monotop. That's on purpose. They do that so that it blends a little bit more effortlessly with your natural hairline if you have one, and if you don't, then it doesn't look quite so fakey plucky and, you know, boom hair, you know, because they want it to look convincing. And I love their smart lace front. So now let me show you what Alessandra looks like from all sides, 360 style. Jon Renau's wigs have baby fine hair, and you can kind of see it going like that. Very beautiful, very natural movement, made to look like very delicate European hair. It's very beautiful hair, and something that you don't find a lot in synthetic wigs. But yeah, this wig is glorious. It's just beautiful. So I mean, yeah, it didn't look the greatest when I was outside and it was like, you know, monsoon level winds, gale force winds everywhere. Here, let me turn off this super bright light so you can get an idea of what this one will look like in indoor lighting as opposed to like crazy insane studio type lighting. Because this color is quite dark. But now maybe you can even see some of the contrast with the highlighting a little bit better. So this is what this one will look like in more like normal indoor lighting. This is a beautiful color. I love this Midnight Cocoa color. It's just so rich. Like the color name is so good for this one because it's just such a rich looking, delicious looking color. And it looks beautiful on this long, layered, textured cut. Just, it's very, very beautiful. I love this Alessandra wig. So, so pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and take Alessandra off now so I can show you what the interior of the cap looks like. So, as you can see, Alessandra has a temple to temple lace front, goes a little bit farther than temple into the ear tab, which I really like. And again, I said it's pre-cut, has a natural contour to it, which is very, very nice, well done. Now, like all lace front monotop wigs, you will see a little bit of a seam here between the two monofilament features. That is normal, and you will see that in every single lace front monotop wig. So if you're new to wigs and you buy one of these and you see that, don't sweat it. It's not a big deal. It's normal. The key is that you want enough hair here at this seam that the seam is easy to conceal either with concealer or makeup, or that you can just part it in a way where it's not visible. And this is the side. Nice felt ear tabs. You can see that there is a little bit of built-in volume here at the crown, but I wouldn't necessarily consider it permatease, because if you actually go hunting for it, it doesn't really look like permatease. Permatease has a bit of a crimp to it. It looks like kinky hair. This is more like hair that's been cut really, really short and isn't necessarily curly or kinky, and it's only put there at the crown to prevent the wig from lying flat due to its own weight, which will happen in any monofilament top wig if it's long enough and weighs enough at the top. And this one has plenty of hair for that to be a problem if they didn't put this feature in. So again, that's normal and that is to spec. You also have these lovely Velcro adjusters in the back. I love wigs with Velcro in the adjusters. Nice and stretchy all at the perimeter. Fantastic. I find this one to be very, very comfortable on. And I have a big head. It's 23.5 inches in circumference, though keep in mind that the rest of my measurements, like my ear to ear and whatnot, are all fairly average. So if you need a lot of room all over, you're probably not going to fit in this wig. And then we've got this lovely felt nape, which is very nice and comfortable. Again, very stretchy at the back. Oh, look at that. It's awesome. And you can really see here in this natural light that highlight shade, you know, the highlight shades aren't necessarily light. They're you know, a medium auburn and a dark auburn, but they go all the way through to the bottom of the nape, which is unlike most highlights in most brands where you'll see them only here at the top or near the front. Like I said, this is a syrup shade. All these Chocolate Collection colors that have that FS at the beginning of the color code are syrup shades, so they're all going to have that kind of highlighting all the way throughout. And so let me show you what the layering on this one looks like up close. Now this is fresh out of the box, so even though it's blowing around a lot, you can see that the hair texture looks really lovely and natural even in high wind, which is kind of awesome. Alessandra has an average sized cap. The bang, which isn't really a bang, it's more like long layers in the front, kind of like Zara has. 8.5 inches, but again, heavily layered all throughout, so remember, way more layers than Zara. The crown down is 13.75 inches, the sides are 10.5, and the nape is 13.75, which is why she's so nice and long in the back. So this has been a review of Alessandra by Jon Renau in the color 10 RH16, also known as Almondine. A very beautiful, highly dynamic color full of all kinds of beautiful, warm and ashy tones. So again, this has been the Alessandra in Midnight Cocoa, a 5.3 ounce wig. and hopefully you've enjoyed this review. I hope to bring you many more during the course of the year, so stay tuned. Again, I'm Heather from CysterWigs.com. Check out my store, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.